autistic kid, up high speed at will. But what is, doing something fast and practicing, something fast over and over again, which is the older version's forte. I actually practice something over and over again because what autism does is it plays off the first try. What you don't know is his shit gets so out of hand that I go into a sugar rush about how he has genetics from his dad and why his first try actually means something because of how much his dad tried to fuck his mom all the way to a point where literally fucking his first guess is the best, guess in the universe, and the older brother tells him literally pace or something. So what happens if I practice, something over and over again and you do everything at once? That's never gonna get you a friend because a friend is something that you take care of. Literally, a friend isn't gonna, fold for your nonchalant attitude. Literally, that revolves around, material things that, aren't valuable. A friend, literally, I'm sorry to say, literally is a responsibility. And that's why literally we never get to the fact that friends are expensive. Because the truth of it, all right, is that like shit right now. Lily, you didn't fool the whole time. Lily, that just means you don't want me to win. That means I was never gonna win the whole time. Okay, so anyway, fucking um what that means, what you don't understand, Lily, is that when I talk shit to cops, Lily, when they come over, Lily, any policeman that talks to Lily, an autistic kid is in the group home, and the autistic kid is adjacent in high school. So you're usually an imaginary friend against somebody fucking struggling and shit, and now you're falling back on shit that isn't legitimate, like skills in my anime. Lily, you are like, oh, the blue Charlie Hurst, Lily, from Lily, the rodeo, Lily, down the street, this, that. So you're falling back on your imaginary friend like Tinkerbell, Lily, a fucking Bumblebee shit. When this guy's going through real life struggles, real life hormones, Lily, when he comes over, Lily, fucking whose side you take on? The mother, Lily, even when they're dead. Okay, so Lily, so guess what ends up happening? All right, Lily. So what happens, Lily, if you don't even give a hint, like, yo, you did better than her, she was her age, I'm done. Lily, that all that shit happened. So you want Lily fucking these people to influence these motherfuckers, these anime nerds when they're growing up, but you don't want them to have, my characters, Lily, that are actually handcrafted. That's literally the fucking debate, Lily. Is so fucking stupid, and it's true. It's true, really, because a handcrafted friend is better than a friend that's full of shit. All the way to a point, Lily, where they can't take care of themselves because you need to understand, all right? Now, the reason why this shit is so important, Lily, is because you didn't recognize it. The other day, I was talking about, Dylan and Daffodil, which is David and Dylan, all right? Lily, and what I just did was I just told somebody, Lily, that I sold them for pussy, all right? Lily, and the truth of it, all right, is when I made all those characters and everything was confirmed lately, I actually got high one time. And I thought about them when I was watching The Office. So I'm all like, oh, do that, though, you can do your thing. Oh, this, and that. But guess what? Lately, I'm like, that's fucking bullshit because I know that's the exact fucking same mentality as the cops came over. So I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, fuck them and fuck you, 100% because you understand, all right? That, when I apply something, you don't read it. You don't read it correctly because it's very, you don't know what autism is. What autism is, okay? Literally, it's a mental disease. So what you have to do is you have to compare a mental disease to a baby, which is what you never do. So I'm like, so you want to, literally say that autistic people are geniuses, but you get over at them the street spots by a lot of cops to talk to them with their imaginary friends and shit. Literally, never let them prosper. Literally, never let them become big people because, what you do is, you say, you like them the big things like Martin Luther King, Lily, and fucking what ends up happening is that they end up like disabled people because you don't support them emotionally. You don't support them literally with bitches. You don't support them literally with women. You don't support them in that actual area that's a criteria for a human. All right, Lily. That's why Lily. I was struggling. I was struggling to make you fucking fast. Lily, after Dion fucking gorilla her, you know what that means? That means fast. And that's based off everything, Lily. So when it comes to Lily, get to know them. So that my mom is literally socializing with no oomph, and that's really, really true. So what ends up happening is, you're going to, advance, mid advance, not advance, really, so something fat out, advance happens to you, and I recognize when I was listening to all that, mid tier without being high music in high school, that I was secretly being goth, really, because what that is that's porn. That's not a horror movie first thing, but we're constantly, grappling something, we're constantly, groping, literally, holding on to something, literally, that's a form, hardcore. And, I think about it, literally, That's scary because nothing is there, to crumble, break your mentality. So, like I said, the reason why you trust gang members is because they support your illegitimate behavior. They don't flat out crush your mentality like they did Eris. Literally, fucking, they support your shit that, it's in your head so you can play a dance and smack with your game. So, you never compare, the bitches, you grab to the fucking competition you had in the league. You never comparing it, to actual legitimate comparisons to our challenges in life. And so, literally, you're allowed to literally roll your bullshit all day. That's why I flinked it on Uncle Tommy because you didn't get it. All right, literally, you don't get that fucking I broke it down to a point where stereotype, doesn't work. And, that's, fucking horrible. And I recognize that these people are in charge of the world, literally, and you took the world down in 2026. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not going into detail, literally, of, oh, we only have society, literally, with the police, force something is one, sexual rape, to another, because you don't fucking respect it. I don't care. I don't care. Literally, something about Ice Cube, Literally, let's just admit, literally, we said that shit, I mix music just like Ice Cube, but I'm done. Literally fucking horrendous, all right? Literally. So you want me to trust? Well, I couldn't have somebody sit beside the studio to do this happen. All right, I'm done. I can't, I can't break it anymore. Fucking I ran on, jewels, my balls, Shingon Wu. But I can't fucking take it, literally. And what you don't know, literally, what I'm keeping away from you is that, because I don't have the moon base, society is broken in half in my channel. What happens if I get to use my moon base for a channel? That means I'm gonna, not need to compare myself to those Photoshop niggas, not need to compare myself to people like Bushido, and this is crack. All right, this is stupid, and Fabian and people like them have a fucking problem, literally. But what you don't know about autism, you have to be really serious about that because autism doesn't practice anything. Literally, autism is lacking in socializing due to not having any power, no oomph, no emphasis behind everything. Which is why they can fool themselves literally to something that's good as status, but they get lazy. That's why literally when they do something, it's half-assed. And when somebody corrects them, literally, what lesbian cops and people do, what lesbian cops do with people for criticism? They say that they're evil, that they come for the devil, literally, that they're hiding behind their imaginary friend, and they're autistic person is doing this cool, but they don't understand his criticism. They don't understand something is incomplete. And that's when they get, thousands of yellow, animation studios, thousands of people don't act right because people don't have common sense, as you don't allow them, to actually live their life fully because you're full of shit. You're full of bullshit.